Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my humble home in Livingston, Montana. Okay, I'm going to do a video here about knives, another boring knife video. But I totally have plans on making this my very last video that I do about cutlery or knives or EDCs or hunting knives or machetes or any of this kind of stuff, unless something comes up in the future that I just can't contain myself. But I thought I would do a video on just simply showing what my two favorite straight-bladed knives are and my two favorite EDCs, everyday carry folders, okay? Now, when it comes to straight-bladed knives, as I've said on my channel many times, my favorite knives of all time are German-made, handmade Pumas. There's lots of other really good straight-bladed knives out there, but I started collecting Pumas quite a few years ago. I have 8 of them right now. I never trade them off. I never give them away. It's definitely my private stash. I've given away a lot of these cheaper EDCs as presents and stuff like that, as I've, admitted on this channel of mine. Now here it is, ladies and gentlemen. I know that there's a lot of people out there. I see their channels. I watch their stuff. They have zillions of knives, it seems like me. Dozens and dozens. They collect them. They fix them up. They customize them and all this. All well and good. Except for I'm old school. I really can't keep up with that crowd of people on YouTube here that do that collect, EDCs, cutlery, all these different kind of knives, because you can only use one knife at one time. And personally for me, I think it's kind of an expensive habit. Of course, collecting firearms is a real expensive habit. But I'm just really not. Over the years, I've gotten kind of burned out trying to keep up with this, collecting things and doing knife reviews and all that. This video is really, and I'm not mad about anything, but this video is the end of my, doing reviews and unboxing and anything, trying to keep up with the Joneses when it comes to knives, okay? Now, the first 2 knives I'm going to show you real quick like here are my EDCs, and the company that I like the most of all, after fiddling around with a lot of different companies, is CRKT. The Columbia River Knives and Tools. As simple as that, okay? Right here, this little guy right here has been a favorite of mine for a long time. I've already done a review on this. I'll just pop it out of here real quick, like out of the box. It's a Pilar 3. Okay, it's the 3rd rendition. It's their 3rd attempt, if you will, it refining this Pilar. And I just so happen to have the latest rendition. And of course, this thing isn't going to focus down for me or anything like that. I don't know why this is like, I don't know why I can't, usually I can get some kind of focus going, but it don't seem like it wants to do that. But anyway, I've already done a review on this. This is a $50 EDC. And in my humble opinion, this is $50 that's real well spent. There, well, I almost had the Pilar popped in there. Okay, that's just one of my EDCs that I plan on keeping for myself and not trading it off and all this other stuff. Let me put that down. Okay, my second one is one that I acquired not too long ago. I did a small slideshow, which a lot of you haven't seen, but this particular piece came with a clip, a pocket clip, but I took it off because this is a very large knife. I like it a lot, it's called it's a Columbia River Knives and Tool seismic, a deadbolt. It's got a locking system on that blade that you can't believe. You know, it's a folder. It's supposed to go in your pocket, but I've got a Maxpedition sheath. One that you can put on lengthwise this way, just about every which way you can think of. And I beaded this thing up. I decked it up a little bit. I put some engraving on it and whatnot have you, because I simply told myself, why don't you just settle down with one good EDC and let the rest of this stuff go on down the pike? And this is one of the knives I chose to do that with. A Columbia River Knives and Tool seismic deadbolt. Okay, and I've got right there, there's a lanyard there. I've got a lanyard right there and a lanyard right here. Let me pull this guy out of here. And believe it or not, this is a big piece right here, 4-inch blade. But I've got, as you can see, I've got engraving on there that says Vietnam Veteran, even though you probably can't see it very well. It's got my name on the other side. I decided to have this knife engraved like this, ladies and gentlemen, so I wouldn't get tempted to sell it, give it away, trade it, do whatever, because I like it a lot. I studied this knife a lot before I bought it. It was regularly, like, it's been listed all over the internet like at $120 or something. But under Amazon specialty knives and specialty blades, I got this for $96. Okay? And so I've done a review on this, but this is my second EDC. I remember I'm just talking two straight blades and 2 EDCs. Okay, and of course this has got the deadbolts right in here, and you have to look that up. I'm not here to talk about that deadbolt. We'd be here all day long, but this is a nice knife, and I like it. I've spent quite a bit of time fixing it up to go along with this sheath and whatnot have you, which it goes along just fine, so. And a lot of guys go, oh, I want it in my pocket. Well, fine. That's, if you're a pocket freak, good. I don't bother me to carry a knife on my side. I'd carry a knife on my side forever. So there you are. So, Columbia River Knives and Tools gets my vote for EDCs. My 2 favorite EDCs are the Pilar 3 and the Seismic Deadbolt. There it is. Okay. When it comes to my straight blades, my 2 favorites, actually I brought out 3 because I got one that I carry quite a bit. I don't like it as well as my Pumas, but nonetheless, okay, I got 2 Pumas that are outstanding. Right here, let me see if I can get this so everything ain't falling down. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, these are old school knives. These German, handmade, in the mother country now, knives, straight blade. This is the Puma Bowie. And let me tell you what, this thing is sharp. This will take your thumb right off. This thing is very sharp. These type of knives like this are handmade. There's nothing junky about this. You see that writing on there? If you don't see Puma, original, made in, right there, handmade in Germany. And the steel that's in here is just tougher than you can't believe. For many, many years, Puma would not say what their steel mixture was. I think the secret's out now, but, these are real good knives. I've never had any problems with them. I own 8 of them. It's got a stag handle, of course. This is the Puma Bowie. There's lots of different models, and, I own 8 of them. Okay, there you are with that. Let me put this away before I stab myself, because this Puma, I was checking it downstairs before I brought it up. It's very sharp, And these Pumas are the kind of knives that I could throw one of these out in the Yellowstone River, come back 10 years from now, pick it up, and it would more than likely still be in fairly good shape, except for maybe some of the brass and different things that are on these type of knives. But there you are. The Puma Bowie, and my absolute pride and joy when it comes to Puma knives. And here again, this is made in Germany, handmade in their little plant over in Solingen, Germany. I actually had to find a shop in Germany where I could order this because I could not find it anywhere here in the United States. I went on the hunt for this very knife right here for at least, I'm going to say 5 to 6 years. And this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is a Puma White Hunter. They started importing these into the United States in the late 1950s. They wouldn't do it earlier than that because they were still prejudiced against the Germans because of the World War II and all this other stuff. But this is one of their really older models. It's been around for a long time, and it's an expensive sucker. If you don't believe me, go look for an original Puma White Hunter, which is exactly what this is. Let me show you. I'm running out of space here. Had to order this from... I got this shipped to my door, I think, for about $320. This is the most expensive knife I ever bought in my life. You know, it's a straight blade, like I say. Okay. One of the trademarks of these old Pumas is the way that they got this keeper thong on here, this keeper lanyard. You see this and how it goes through, you know, see that? Yeah, that's, you know, that's one of the telltale signs of a good old Puma, you know. Okay, now this one here is in the sheath. It's molded in there fairly tight. I've never even put a stone on this thing, just simply because this is one of these knives I don't even know if I may never ever get around to using this. Now just take a look right there. It's got too much shiny. What do I got this in the way of that inscription? Right there. Puma White Hunter. See it? Handmade in Germany. Yeah, knives just don't come any better than this right here, in my humble opinion. The steel is exceptional. The fit and finish on this handle is unbelievable. You know, you got your jimping right there. You know, you got some choiling back here, of course, but to feel this knife, to feel this handle right here, you just can't believe it, you know. It is tip heavy, but that's the way the old school knives were. There's the Rockwell mark right on it. You know, all of these German knives have it. See that little dot in front of that arrow? That's a proofing mark, a temper proofing mark, a Rockwell mark. And if you don't see that, you've got if you don't see a proofing mark on a Puma, chances are you've got an imposter. Because in my travels of collecting Puma knives, I've run into a few imposters. You know, there's a few things you need to look for. But all of my Pumas, like I say, I own 8 of them. And I just showed you my 2 favorites. And so there you are. You know, the Bowie and then this White Hunter. This White Hunter has been around for a long, long time. This is a very nice knife. Very expensive knife, too. Okay, let me put this away so we don't have any accidents. Yeah, it's kind of a nifty thing the way that this lanyard keeper, or whatever you want to call this, but it just goes through that hole right there. you know, and a lot of people don't even know this, you know, but that's a fact. Then you just take this thing like this, wrap her around the butt of this handle, and there you are. That thing ain't going anywhere, you know. So there's my Puma Hunter. An honorable mention here. This knife right here, this is just honorable mention, but it's one that's very good. I bought it. I actually had the company made it for me. It was a Christmas deal a couple years ago. I got it for $140. It's actually a survival knife. It's not one that I use for hunting so much, but I do take it out quite a bit. It gets honorable mention. It's made out of 1095 high carbon steel, and it's made by Tops Knives down there in it's a little suburb of Idaho Falls, Idaho. I can't remember right off the bat, but right here. This is my dinking around when I'm going out in grizzly bear country knife. I decided to throw this one in just simply because there's nothing absolutely wrong with this knife right here. This is called an Anaconda B. It's got some very heavy steel in it. I use it for more of a utility survival type knife. I'm always armed, ladies and gentlemen. It always cracks me about this knife thing when people start, you know, talking about knife, you know, is a protective weapon and all that. Here's what I've got to say to all that nonsense. Never bring a knife to a gunfight, okay? Because I'm always packing both, you know. But you know, I know that there's some people that are real good at throwing knives and this and that, but I don't particularly look at a knife as a protective instrument, if you will. I mean, yes, it can be if that's all you got, but I'm going to be pulling my Glock out if it gets that serious. But anyway, this is an Anaconda B by Tops Knives. Oh, Yukon, Idaho is where they're out of. Okay? This gets honorable mention, but right there, TOP stands for Tactical Operations something. Tactical Ops, there we go. You know, it's a USA-made knife, you know, but, you know, it's got a real good grip and everything like that, you know. You know, it's got good jimping on it and different things. I have done a YouTube video on this guy right here, but, you know, like I say, it's the only reason why I'm throwing this in is because I carry this a lot, you know, simple as that. This wasn't the original sheath that came with it because I didn't like the original sheath, so I bought a better one. Okay. And I like it so I don't have to take my belt off. I can just take these, you know, these straps right here, they're Velcroed, and snap them right over my belt, and I don't have to be fighting with my belt all day when I want to go hiking, you know. So there you are with all that. Besides that, right here, in this sheath right here, I can carry an extra clip for one of my firearms, which I do. I don't have one in there right now. But there you are. That's it. This just gets honorable mention. You got the two Puma straight blades I showed you, the Bowie and the White Hunter, and then for my EDCs, the knives that I liked the very most of all was that Seismic that I just got done showing you with the fancy, you know, with all the jewelry I hung on there, the Seismic Deadbolt, and the Pilar 3. That's it. And that's it for me with cutlery, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not trying to keep up with anybody. There's channels that's got tons and tons of knives. I've seen guys haul out cases with like 24 or 50 knives in there, and I think to myself, who in the hell needs that many knives? But that's their deal. If they wanted, you know, because I come from the school that if you buy a knife, use the damn thing. And so that's what I'm into. I never really started my channel to be a knife review channel, even though before I even knew about YouTube, I was heavily involved with cutlery. So there you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's really all I've got to say. Let's see, how long is this stupid file? Almost 20 minutes long. Thank you very much. We shall see you on down the trail. Take care of yourself. Adios.